two of us started an agency in Puerto Vallarta, and we were out of business in a year. Right when my wife and I had our first child, it was like perfect timing, right? But the lesson was huge because both of us, neither one of us wanted to be the sales guy. We both wanted to build cool stuff. If you want to make money, you need a salesperson.
You've interviewed hundreds of agencies. You've seen hundreds of agencies. What would you say is a common trait between the ones that are successful, they have a successful agency, or they had a full-time job, they quit their job, they're like me, successful, common traits? And then the flip side, what patterns do you see among the ones that don't get any traction?
I would say the common trait amongst the most successful agencies is having that salesperson or that sales program. Like agencies that struggle are the ones that are constantly fulfilling and they don't have dedicated daily bandwidth to the top of the funnel. That's the best agencies, the ones that literally know, hey, this is what we do. We don't do anything outside of this, because that becomes really scalable.
People, we have Chase Buckner in the house. Chase Buckner, do you realize what a treat this is to have Chase? He has so much experience in the agency space, in HighLevel from literally almost day one. And we're going to unwrap all of it here. Chase, thanks for being here today, pal.
It's my privilege to be here, Dar. And look, we're twinning.
We are twinning. All right. So I want you all to know this. We didn't plan this, but I planned to wear my Chase hat. This hat was Chase wears this hat. So, in fact, had it before HighLevel even offered this kind of hat. I'm like, man, when they make them available, I'm going to get one. I call it my Chase hat. So I wore it today out of respect.
These are my Dar glasses. Once I turned 40, I couldn't see anymore, and I had to get into the glasses game. And I was like, I like how Dar does it. I'm going to get some Dar glasses. Yeah,
there we go. So anyway,
I'm gonna just for variety, I'm gonna switch.
Let's say you all can just make fun of us now. All in the comments, let us know what goobers we are.
For the record, I also stole the Dar pose. So whenever we're doing pictures and stuff, you know what I mean. I stole that from you as well. So credit where credit's due.
Thanks, pal. All right. So there are going to be people watching this episode who are new in the HighLevel world and don't really know who Chase Buckner is. Would you be kind enough to just give us a little bit of background and tell us about your agency life before HighLevel and then how you first got involved with HighLevel?
Yeah, sure. So long time ago, quit a job and figured I could start an agency. I actually convinced this awesome travel company in Mexico when I first decided to stay down here to let me be their webmaster, which I was in no way qualified to do. But I'm a quick learner. And so I got paid to sort of figure that out, cut my teeth in WordPress, you know what I mean? And then at one point I was like, man, these marketing agencies sounds awesome. Like, I think I could do that if I just had a programmer. And fate brought a programmer into my life, quit my job. The two of us started an agency in Puerto Vallarta, and we were out of business in a year. Right when my wife and I had our first child, it was like perfect timing, right? But the lesson was huge because both of us, neither one of us wanted to be the sales guy. We both wanted to build cool stuff. And if you want to make money, you need a salesperson. And so that was kind of like an EOS rocket fuel type of lesson where I was like, okay, partnering with your friend isn't going to get it done. You need, the opposite of you. So this is actually a funny story. It's so funny how the world works. I still am a huge Gary Vee fan. Yeah. And there was a year when Gary did an interview every day for a year. Yeah. And one of the interviews he did was with a guy who was starting his own agency who sounded like a pure salesman. So I hit him up. And I was like, I think we should work together. And he was like, what? Okay. Tell you what, I've got a couple of SEO clients. If you can make their monthly review video, let's do this. So I was like, okay. And that's kind of hard, right? Because with SEO, not every month is awesome and da-da-da. So
you're actually coloring the dots green. Oh, that's supposed to be green.
Exactly. No, I would never. So that went well. And then we started working together. And then over the next 7 years, we built a full service 7-figure agency. But we hit that barrier that I think most good agencies do, or at least did at the time before HighLevel, which was, man, every customer, every client we get, we're like stacking all this software together. Like every client, we have to tell them, hey, get an active campaign account, get a call rail account, get a this, get a that. And then we're like stitching them all together, which takes weeks to get them launched. And so
Right.
we have to convince them to like sit tight for like a month before they actually even really see things start to happen.
Yeah.
And we were like, should we try to build a software that combines this stuff? And luckily, our developers were WordPress developers, and they were like, guys, we are not full stack engineers, and you guys have no idea what you're talking about if you think you're going to build a software. Like, it's not something you just build, like, you have to maintain it, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So, luckily, we listened to them. We did not build our own. We went on the hunt to try to find somebody who was.
Yeah.
And that basically led us to Sean and Varun, and we were one of the very first customers of HighLevel, which is
Like
pretty cool.
way back. Were you on number like 5, 4, 3, something like that?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Ian actually, because Ian, our head of support,
Yeah.
onboarded me, and we had a bunch of good conversations. And then he introduced me to Sean, and I was like, hey, to our team at the agency, I was like, hey, I'm going to go in a cave for like 2 weeks and build out SOPs with this new software because come next month, every new client is going to get onboarded into this.
Yeah.
And so as I was making that content, Sean was like, every week we'd hop on Zoom and he was like, show me what you built, show me what you made. He was like, man, like all of our customers could use this stuff. Like, would you want to join the team? And I was like, absolutely. Like every marketer on the planet is going to want this thing. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that was probably the best decision I ever made because, yeah, I think we went on to build the best marketing tool the world has ever seen.
I know. Did you ever imagine that HighLevel would be what it is today? I mean,
No, and yeah,
technologies didn't even exist then. So, I mean, how could you, but still.
I mean, I did know every marketer is going to want this thing because it's like the marketer's toolkit. Like,
Right.
and I was like, if we stay true to this mission and just
Uh-huh.
keep adding the tools that marketers want, the sky's the limit. Did I ever envision it would get this big? And I honestly, I don't even think I still think we're kind of early in where we're going.
Right.
But I did know that, hey, it's actually funny because before HighLevel, we found a similar tool or what was supposed to be a similar tool at the time. So we started with that tool and it was really buggy. And I was like, man, I don't know, Matt, if we can like invest in this. They're actually having an event in Miami, like in a couple of weeks. Like, why don't I fly to Miami? I'll see who is behind this thing and try
Yeah.
to like flush out whether or not this is something we can invest in long term. So I went to Miami. The event was not about their software. It was like a weird, I don't know, pitch fest type of thing. The owner was a realtor. And so at the end of the event, I finally got some time with them at the bar and I was just asking them questions about the software. Like, hey, how many engineers do you have? 2. That doesn't seem like a lot. Have you ever built software before? No. Okay. How are you going to scale this thing? Well, if I need more people, I can sell my house in Aspen. And I was like, all right, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
Right.
We got to pull out of this. It was funny because I actually met Robin at that event before Robin was her co-founder, and he was getting an
Really?
award from this software, an agency award for his agency.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. We
And
all have a Robin story. Little
I
side
know.
note. So when I was first getting started, and I was a tech caveman, I I had some sort of issue that I couldn't get past, which now is laughable. But Robin got on and helped me. He did my support and helped me with it. And through
Nice.
the conversation, realized that he went to the same high school that my mom teaches at, did teach at. He was there while she was there. How about that?
No way.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
It's such a small world, and honestly, to me, the 3 of them is one of the key reasons for the success. Because
Oh,
after
sure.
that experience, I went back. I was like, we can't double down on this software for sure, but what are we going to do? And
Yeah.
one of the other agency owners that I met at that event, I Facebook messaged him and I was like, hey man, we're going to pull out of this thing. And he was like, us too, we're going to try HighLevel. And I was like, what's that? And he was like, let me introduce you. So he introduced me, and as soon as I met Sean, I was like, okay, this is one of those rare like genius people, right? Like This
Humble
guy
genius.
is an engineer, but he's also a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Varun, I was like, okay, this guy is amazing. He's also an engineer, and they both are like the nicest people. They don't seem to have the classic vices of like,
Mm-mm.
or the narcissism that most tech founders
Oh,
have.
man.
And then I met Robin, and I was like, okay, agency owner, also insanely smart and kind. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
these three guys, like, how's anybody going to beat this team? So
Right.
that's when I knew, okay, like, I, yes, this product is still really young, but like, we can feel safe committing to this.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think the three of them, the three-headed dragon is
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
our largest advantage.
So, tell me, what's your role at HighLevel today,
Mhm.
and how has it evolved over the years?
So yeah, great question. So in the beginning, I just came in and I was just making content. I was making videos and stuff. And then I was doing daily onboarding. So every day I would go live for an hour and any
Mm-hmm.
new customers could jump in and I would do this like literally the same demo every day
Yeah.
for a year. It got to the point where I just recorded it and then I would hop on and be like, hey everyone, welcome. To save my own sanity, I recorded this. I'm going to hit play, but I'm here. Like, we're going to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
this together. I'll be in the comments. Then Sean was like, hey, can you take over the affiliate program? Because I can't deal with all the tickets and questions and da 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 da. So then I was running the affiliate program
Mm-hmm.
until we brought Kelsey over. And then I was like, hey guys, we should have a marketing department. And they were like, this is like, I want to say almost 2 years in, we didn't
Yeah.
have a marketing team. And they're like, "What? Do we really need one?" And, and I'm like, "We gotta fix the logo. We gotta do," like, "What's wrong with the logo?" I'm like, "Well, you guys got it on Fiverr." Like, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but none of that matters." And they're right, right? Like, I
Right.
learned so much from the three of them, but like, because I'm the type of person that's like paralyzes myself because the logo's not perfect and this
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
perfect yet and the website's not ready and da 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 da. And those guys
So
really
many people are.
shifted my mindset of like, no, like action. It just action is all that matters. Like we just need to get moving.
Yeah.
So like 2 years in, maybe, I finally convinced them that we should have a marketing department, started
Yeah.
growing that, got it to the point where we brought in Wesley, who's our VP of marketing, and we actually
Mm-hmm.
split marketing into customer marketing and product marketing. And so for the past three years now, I think I've been running the product marketing team.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
you're doing your spotlight session. Your spotlight sessions have changed. They used to be like you would
Yeah.
have an agency owner on
Uh-huh.
and spotlight the cool stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
Now with the features that are being rolled out, it's
Yep.
such a rapid pace.
Yeah.
Every week you're like new feature spotlight, right? Just
Yeah.
sharing that with the community.
Yeah, the spotlight sessions was awesome. That was like our first podcast. So I hosted that for like probably 2 years maybe, and then I handed that over to Paulson, and then we
Hmm.
started the release radar, which is every Friday we just talk about all the new releases that rolled out. I mean, this is like the predominant feedback, right? For new people coming in is it's overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. There's so much stuff. I don't know where to start, da da da. And I think focusing on the use case for me is the key. Like just solve the most immediate problem that you have
Yeah.
and then go to the next problem, just knowing that the features you need are there when you get to the problem. Like don't get hung up on exploring all the features. Just
Yeah.
focus on solving your problems and the features are there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I interviewed Kevin Patrick last week. He's one of my affiliates, and we went back and looked at the DMs that we've had since 2021.
Mm,
He's a full-time school counselor. And at the time, he was like, man, if I could just make an extra 1,500 a month, man, this would
mm.
be life-changing for us. It would help us, the
Yeah.
mortgage and various things. And what he did, he would just prospect on the way to school. He would call one or two businesses on the drive to school.
No way.
a- And then at lunch, he would go out to his car, cut a Loom video. Hey, here's what we talked about. And basically, he's just doing reviews, just review management and Google
Nice.
Business Profile optimization.
Mhm.
And then on the drive home, he would follow up with them. That's all he would do. He would essentially 5 hours a week,
That's legit.
follow full-time jobs. He quit his job last week. He's doing over 20K a month, monthly recurring revenue, has
Amazing.
45 clients. And self-admit it, well, like doesn't know HighLevel that well. I'm like, let me get in your account and let me give you our latest stuff. And
Yeah.
I get in there. I'm like, Kevin, what is all this? He was like, I don't know. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, I don't know. He literally doesn't know. He's not expert level
Yeah.
on all the stuff. And you would think several years in, he was like, no, man, I would just sell reviews. And if I need someone to onboard them, I would have HL Pro Tools onboard them or something. And
There's so
so
many.
prime example of
I
someone
love
who,
that.
yeah, didn't get overwhelmed with the system, just went and had meaningful conversations to solve a problem. And,
I love that because, and I do think that's one of the best places to start is reviews because they're
yeah,
so critical to a local business. And
yeah,
I think the stat is like the average local business has like 40 or something or less reviews, and really you need at least 100 to kind of be in the game. But if you zoom even further out, like this is why I love the agency industry because you
hmm
can become your own boss, live your own life, helping small businesses that they need it the most, right?
yeah,
Like small businesses are just getting smoked and
yeah,
they just don't even know any of this, right? So
hmm
like starting with the lowest, easiest thing, which is like, hey, just get better, have a system to ask people for reviews. And
hmm
more reviews you get, like the more exposure you get from Google and AI. And rather than launching some sort of scammy or like whatever type of business, like you can
hmm
just launch a business that helps other businesses. And it's not that difficult if you just stick to something basic like reviews
right.
or enabling them to text with customers. Like I love that as well. Like just put a chat widget on their site and let people text the business and watch what happens. So
So
they're
let me
all,
ask you.
yeah.
Okay. Well, so going back, we were talking about your spotlight sessions, and you've been here since the beginning, right?
Mhm.
What, 6.5 years now, or is it longer
I
than that?
think this is 7
Are
years
we
in
at
October.
7? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You've interviewed hundreds of agencies. You've seen hundreds of agencies. What would you say is a common trait between the ones that are successful, find, success, where they can either they
Yeah.
have a successful agency or they had a full-time job, they quit their job, like me, like they're doing their so successful common traits. And then the flip side, what patterns do you see among the ones that don't get any traction?
So this is an interesting answer, I guess, because there's different versions, right?
Okay.
I would say the common trait amongst the most successful agencies is having that salesperson or that sales program. Like
Yeah.
agencies that struggle are the ones that are constantly fulfilling and they don't have dedicated daily bandwidth to the top of the funnel. So if you're an agency, like this is common. You have an operator who's good at architecting solutions for businesses, starts an agency, doesn't have the yin to their yang, like
hmm
like my first agency.
Right.
So you don't have enough prospects coming through the door every day to keep up with the natural churn of industry of agency services.
Right.
So like if you're an operator that owns your agency and you haven't found a salesperson who's like you said willing to call people every day,
hmm
following up with people, creating content to attract people inbound, you're going to struggle. Agencies that have that, like, don't get me wrong, that also creates problems. Like Matt, my counterpart, would
Yeah.
just constantly be selling things that we had never fulfilled before.
Mm.
So I'd be like, dude, why would you sell them that? Like, we don't do that. And he's like, well, we do now. Like, figure it out. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
what? Like, how can't we just sell the same thing over and over?
Yeah.
That's the best agencies, the ones that literally know, hey, this is what we do. We don't do anything outside of this because that becomes really scalable. It's
hmm
just really hard to say no when people are waving money in front of you. But I think the best agencies have gotten good at saying no and
Yeah.
made partnerships with other agencies that do those other things. So it's like, oh, that's cool that you want SEO, but like we're a reputation management agency. I can introduce you to some SEO folks, but like we are just the best at getting reviews for businesses.
Yeah. That's true.
So now I will end that question with I think there are a lot of agencies that struggle because they do too much,
Mm.
but are happy because they're smart people. They can do all that stuff, they're helping all these businesses,
Right.
even though it's not really in their best interest to do it.
So
So
they're
when I
making a living, they're happy, but they're not really able to scale because they're trying to do
Yeah, and
something.
that's
Yeah.
like I meet those agency owners all the time where it's like they love what they do, they're just sort of burnt out, and it's like, yeah, you kind of need to pivot. You need to, like, say no to a lot of people that are coming to you for help, as hard as that is.
Yeah.
But for your life to get better and your business to get better, you need to streamline, cut out some of the stuff that doesn't really make sense for you to be doing. And that's hard. That's a hard pivot because
Yeah.
when you know how to solve a problem, it's hard to not solve that problem for somebody when they bring it to your doorstep.
It's true. All right. Next question. What's the biggest misconception you see that people have about building a business on high level?
I think it's the biggest misconception, not even just about high level, that it's going to be easy.
Mm,
I think it's crazy, but also understandable how, because people see content online like about how easy it is to get rich.
right.
And they just come in with this delusional idea that like overnight they're gonna be rich. And that's not a high level thing. That's just a life thing. Like if
Sure.
if you haven't learned the lesson that like everything is hard,
Hmm.
no matter how you want to make a lot of money, like it's gonna be hard
Right. It's going to take focused effort. That's it.
100%. And if
Yeah.
you're not in that mindset, prepared for that, and excited for that,
Yeah.
you're gonna struggle no matter what you try to do.
Yeah. All right. So, segue. If you were starting your business today on high level, what would you do in the next 30 days?
I would start as an affiliate because I think that's the easiest way to get recurring revenue through the door. You have to have recurring revenue, right? So what I would do is learn about the problems that high level solves for businesses. Like you just
Hmm.
mentioned, reviews. Most businesses aren't text enabled, missing phone calls, uh, bad website, no quick follow up, all these types of business problems.
Hmm.
And I would just start making content about those problems. And then I would end the content with like, or when people reach out, the tool that I love to solve these problems is high level. Here's the link if you want to check it out. Um, get my base set up,
Hmm.
and then I would actually start getting good at solving one of those problems, go after businesses that need that solution, and just get good at fulfilling that one thing.
Yeah.
Then if I needed to or wanted to, I would expand to another problem. But
Yeah.
I think what's cool is I love when people don't have to go beyond the one thing. They're like, this is awesome. Like, we just do one thing, it works. Like, we have it dialed
Yeah.
in, we're just scaling it up.
Like Kevin does the reviews and optimizes Google Business Profile.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
done. Rinse and
He's
repeat.
like, I get 2 or 3 support calls a month. Like, hey, can you upload a picture to my Google Business Profile? Sure.
And he probably knows what he'll do next already because he
Yeah.
probably knows, man, like 30% of my customers also ask me if I do this, which I
Yeah.
don't. But if I did, I could easily go back and sell that to 30% of my customers. You know what I mean?
Well, he's moving into AI. So I
There you
actually
go.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How has AI changed or improved the offer for agency owners?
It's what I call the holy grail moment. Now, don't get me wrong, AI is not perfect, and I'm not here to
Right.
say that it is.
Right.
But again, one of the most important lessons I learned from working from Sean, Robin, and Varun is that, there's a Zuckerberg saying, done is better than perfect.
Hmm.
Now, nothing's ever done, right? So, but the point
Right.
is like imperfect action is beats trying to be perfect any day of the week. So let's go back to our agency, 7-figure agency. We worked with
Hmm.
a ton of med spas. We did awesome stuff. The problem was we could only take it so far. And then the outcome was reliant on the humans in those businesses.
That's true.
And humans are flawed. Humans just can't do things fast enough and do things consistently enough. So what do I mean by that? Well, they would hire us to bring leads. We got really, really good at generating leads for med spas. And I'll never forget this one customer we brought on in the first 30 days. We were generating Botox leads for $6 a pop. It was the lowest we'd ever seen it.
Wow.
And we were like, this is crazy. Like, these guys are going to be like, they're going to think we're the greatest thing ever. I hop on their first review call at the end of 30 days and the guy tells me that they're quitting. And I was like, what? Like, wait, maybe you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
We just generated like 130 something leads at $6 a lead.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but I haven't seen a single person show up. Like none of these people paid for anything. These leads suck. And I was like, did you call any of them? Like, did you text any of them? Did you email, did you do anything with them? And he was like stupefied at what I was asking. Like, that's what we're paying you to do. And I'm like, no, you're paying us to generate leads, but you still have to work the leads.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it became clear as day to me that small businesses don't know what to do with leads. They're used to referrals.
Right.
So they pay an agency thinking that it's going to be like the customers they speak to now, who are people that have already been pre-sold by friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads off the internet are completely different.
Yeah.
So that was like, man, how are we ever going to get past? Like, we can only do so much. And if the business can't consistently, contact these leads fast,
Mm-hmm.
this is never going to work. Like, we're only, like, the churn is always going to be what it is.
Yeah.
Which was bad. Like, our churn rate was horrible.
Yeah. Enter HighLevel, two-way texting. I remember when I found two-way texting, I moved over from another funnel platform that didn't have that.
Yep.
And then two-way texting so we could do appointment confirmations or reminders for all of our chiropractor clients.
Yep.
Like, this is amazing. And of course, now.
Yeah. Early
You got,
HighLevel took it a huge step forward, right? The missed
Mhm.
call text back, immediate texts off leads. But even that, as good as we got it, so like HighLevel would do its thing, it would send a text, the person would
Mhm.
reply. So now we've engaged the lead immediately, but again, the business isn't there to keep the conversation going.
Mhm.
So that's why we're at this holy grail moment with AI, because you don't have to rely on the businesses anymore to be there immediately for the lead. The AI can kick in, if
And
they're,
it's so good. It's so good. People
that's
don't
what people
know. They
don't
think
realize.
it's like, man,
Yeah.
I was on an AI call the other day, one of the ones that we created, and it was for it was like a remodeling company, and I was like, yeah, I want to do a pool, and I want to do a thing in my backyard, and I want one of those like roofy things that cover the patio. I don't know what it's called. It's got like slats where and it goes, oh, you mean a pergola? Yeah, you want a pergola? And I was like, how did it know? But it knows. It is so good.
Oh, dude, I've seen so many, like my favorite one is a high leveler who works with barbershops
Mm.
in Chicago or some big city, I think. And
Yeah.
he basically trained it to speak like he does, right? His nuanced way of talking. So it was like this lady was chatting in about a haircut for her son. And he's like, Nancy, I got you. Like, and he's like, he doesn't like it around to be, too short around the ears or whatever. And it
Yeah.
was like, bet, like, Nancy, we know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
I love it.
bring him through. Like, he's going to love it. There was no way that this lady did not know or knew that it was a chatbot, right? Like, she
Right.
100% thought she was chatting with the business owner because the chatbot sounded exactly like he did.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize yet, how good they are. And
So do you think like AI is tied to the biggest opportunities over the next 2 to 3 years with HighLevel? What do you think that looks like?
100% on two
Yeah.
fronts, because it solves that problem of no more missed calls. Like every business, like in the 90s,
Mhm.
they realized, hey, we're going to need like this one of these website things,
Mhm.
is going to over the next year to realize we need a voice AI agent to answer the phone. Like having voicemail is
Yeah.
so stupid when you can have an AI answer the phone.
Right.
That, and then the same thing with lead follow-up. Like I don't even think people realize that you can run conversation AI on email. Like, I should probably go do a video on that right now because
Yeah.
so like all of your channels now can be handled by AI if the human hasn't responded right away. So like that's another thing I don't think people realize. Like you can set it up to give the humans a shot, but it's like if the
Right.
human hasn't done anything in whatever you want, 2 minutes, AI kicks in, takes over. So
Absolutely.
that piece of the equation, 100%. And then the other piece, which is the internal side, is Ask AI. It seems really clear to me that Ask AI in HighLevel is like a black hole that's going to swallow the entire UX. Like people won't even log into HighLevel anymore. They'll just be chatting with Ask AI in SMS or WhatsApp, like however you want to interact with it. It
Yeah.
seems pretty clear to me like that's where this is going to go.
You know, I I tell my people in my community, people I coach, my affiliates, that I firmly believe AI is the biggest revolution since the internet itself. And I do believe that, is generalizing, most businesses are going to have it in some form or fashion, just like they have a website or an email or whatever. And so, and it's so good even right now that if you install it properly, because the LLMs continue to improve,
Mhm.
like it's just going to be good luck getting someone to like change to a different vendor. We
Yeah.
created a role play AI agent a year and a half ago, and that prompt hasn't changed in a year and a half. And it was cool then, but
Yeah.
it's very, very good now without the prompt changing at all, just because the the AI has gotten that so much better.
Mhm.
So what I mean by what I'm going with this is people are going to have it. It's a blue ocean opportunity, but the challenge or the opportunity right now, that gap, is the adoption, because you've got business owners that are like, I don't know about that AI. I
Yeah.
don't know. No, we're good. And so the opportunity, I think, really is to get over the adoption, right? To do everything you can to get the solution for the business owner, have them experience AI working in their business so they can have that epiphany like, and I didn't realize it could do that. I didn't realize it could talk about my business. The
That
barbershop, I didn't realize it could
that's why it's so
talk
exciting
the same way. Yeah,
because businesses don't want it yet,
right.
but we know they will want it.
Mhm.
It's a blue ocean of opportunity, right? So like you just have to get good at showing it to them, demoing them. Like you were telling me the way that you're doing it is insane. Like the idea and I love the same for websites, right? Cuz we used to sell a
Mhm.
ton of websites.
Yeah,
And the amount of time it took to build or just design a website was crazy. The idea that today I can be like, "Hey, I see your website looks pretty out of date. In fact, it's broken on mobile. Did you know that? I actually built you a new website. I have it sitting here for you. Like, check it out. Let me know if you want it." And AI built the site for you in 5 minutes
right.
is crazy to me. Like, if I could
It
teleport
is.
back to myself at the agency 10 years ago and show myself that, I would be
I know.
like, what millennia did you come from? You know what I mean?
I know. It's
So
crazy.
there's never been a bigger opportunity, I think,
And it's
to help
not
small
and
businesses.
it doesn't matter what age you are getting started out. I've got people in my community who, man, lucky for them, they're in their early 20s, mid 20s, just getting started. I'm like, you have your whole life. Man, I wish I had this in my 20s.
You
And
know?
I've got people that are like, I'm retired, but I want to do it, or I'm starting over, kind of like I started over when I was 49, from the bike business to this.
Mhm.
Like those people still have a shot at creating something meaningful, like as we exist in this
Oh,
time and space with this
100%.
technology.
It's insane. We had I
Yeah,
don't know if you I'm sure you know, maybe no. We have the first high-level internship program running right now in Dallas. So we have, like, 25 college kids learning how to build their own businesses in high level, and
crazy.
it's so cool. It's like I was there for the kickoff, and I was, like, jealous. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Could you imagine going back to college with recurring revenue running?"
what a gift.
Like, I worked, minimum wage jobs, in between classes just to get by. Like, could you imagine being a college kid with recurring revenue coming through the door? Like, it's awesome. And to
Yeah,
see the stories, like, We shout them out. Ryan does an awesome job grabbing like success stories for the release radar. We always shout out like 2 of them. And the things that people have been able to accomplish just blow me away. It's so cool. It's like so rewarding. It just feels great. Going back to the beginning, deciding to join the team. Like I knew it would be the marketing tool that everyone wanted. I didn't foresee how many lives would be changed in such a way.
Yeah.
And when
Oh my God.
we go to
So
Summit
many.
and I meet people, they come up to me and they're like, dude, like you have no idea. Like you onboarded me and, this happened in my life and I was able to do X, Y, and Z now. And it's just like amazing. Who knew a
I know.
freaking software company would have such an impact on so many people?
That's true. Okay, I know we're closing up on time. You have time for like some rapid fire. Just
Sure.
quick rapid fire question.
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest myth about HighLevel?
Biggest myth about HighLevel. Ooh, that's a good one. Probably the stupid ones like HighLevel websites don't rank.
Most underrated feature of HighLevel?
Underrated or underutilized? If I'm going
It can be either. Like this is your interview. Whatever you want.
If it's underutilized, probably I'll give video testimonials.
Oh, that's on my thing this week to record for the channel. Okay, video testimonials.
Awesome tool.
It is. Biggest mistake agencies make?
Not focusing on a really streamlined actually, not having a SaaS offer, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's good. One habit successful agency owners share?
Tenacity. You have to have somebody driving the top of the funnel.
Yeah.
And that person has to have the thickest skin. They need to love it. They need to love when people say no, love rejection, love getting up every day and jumping back into battle.
Yeah, I love it. Matt has that no-show show. When someone no-shows him, he like blasts them. Oh, we got so-so to no.
Oh, I'll give you a quick story. Matt Coffey, my partner in the agency.
Yeah.
I never met anybody like this guy. When a customer would call and they would be pissed off, I'd be like, oh no, like, so-and-so's really upset. Like, and Matt would get giddy to get on the phone with them because he had this thing in his mind where not only would he make it okay, he would sell them something new while he was on the call. So he would come out of the horrible call that I would be so scared to get on with more revenue. And I was like, how are you doing this? And he like would get off on it. That's the type of person you need if you're not that person.
Yeah. All right. What's something that you believe most agency owners would disagree with?
Something most agency owners would disagree with. Ooh, interesting. I think customers think they know. Agency owners disagree. We all know that businesses are focused on the wrong thing. They get caught up in some shiny tactic of the day or whatever, some YouTube video they saw. And most businesses have the same problem. You don't have a top of the funnel. You're not following up with leads. If you are generating leads, like we need to fix that problem.
Yeah.
So I think most agency owners would disagree with what businesses think they need.
Got it. Okay. And finally, imagine someone is watching this who's had a HighLevel account for the last 6 months, but hasn't done anything with it because they're overwhelmed and maybe they're about to like throw in a towel. What would you tell them?
You got to find the one thing and just go talk to business owners about that problem. Hey, I noticed you don't have many Google reviews, but your product or your service looks awesome. Like I can see the pictures that your customers are posting. How come you don't have more reviews? They will have no idea why they don't have more reviews because they probably never thought about it.
Yeah.
And, then there you go. That's the conversation. Or, hey, I noticed that you don't have a textable number. Most people want to text, not call. Have you ever thought about opening up a text number? They will have no idea how to do that. You know what I mean? So I think it's getting in the right mindset of like, you're not selling things to people that they don't want. You're helping businesses with things they do want. They just have no idea how they would do it.
I love it. Man, thank you so much for being here today, taking time out of your busy schedule. You've always been so gracious and kind over the last several years. Any parting thoughts?
Thanks for having me.
The floor is yours.
It's been too long since we've caught up, but it's great to see you. And
Yeah.
happy to chat anytime. I love chatting about this stuff, and I love what you're doing for the community. I think you're such a huge part of the community. And like I said, stole the glasses, I stole the polos. I owe it all to you, Dar.
Well, the hat game I owe to you. And just being here, like motivation over the years. When I was getting started, figuring it out, there just been people along the way. Ian, Sean onboarded me. Robin helped with support. Once I had a little bit of success, you put a spotlight on that, kind of motivated me to go further, right? It's been in a great community. I'm really fortunate to be part
Well,
of it.
Dar, I think we refer to you. We've referred to you so many times over the years because again, you have that tenacity mindset. A lot of this was new to you. Like you used to build motorcycles, and now you're in tech. Like you're running a software company. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have that mindset of like, this is new to me, but I'm gonna figure it out because I want to figure it out. And you leverage everybody around you, which is what I love most about you. Is that you're always partnering with new people in the community. You're going to all the events. You're putting yourself out there, trying to bump into that next person who's going to take you to the next step.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your kind words.
Thanks for having me anytime.
All right, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend, Chase Buckner. Thanks for being here, pal. And everyone,
My
we'll
pleasure.
see you on the next show.
Peace.
If this conversation with Chase gave you a clearer picture of what's possible in HighLevel, don't make the mistake of trying to learn every feature before you start. Pick one problem that local businesses already have. Maybe they're missing calls. Maybe they're not following up with leads. Maybe they need more Google reviews. A lot of them do. Maybe their website's outdated. You don't need to master everything inside HighLevel to get started. You just need to start helping businesses solve one problem at a time. That's exactly how people like Kevin got started. Of course, now Kevin's doing over $20,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue. And that's how you can begin building monthly recurring revenue as well, one client at a time. If you'd like help getting started, give the video a like. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below with the word START, and I'll send you an invitation to join my free community, AI SaaS Launch. Inside the community, you'll find free training, resources, and a link to start a 30-day free trial of HighLevel through me on either the Agency Unlimited plan or the SaaS Pro plan. And once you activate your free trial, you'll also get my AI agency website template so you can essentially get started and appear as an authority in the space. You'll also get my AI demo drop prospecting system, which help you create personalized AI demos that start conversations with businesses and really blow their mind. And when you're ready to activate your account to a paid HighLevel account, well, then you're going to unlock my complete AI SaaS agency bootcamp. And inside the bootcamp, I walk you through everything through choosing your niche, creating your offer, finding clients, building recurring revenue, onboarding those customers, and growing your AI SaaS business. And if you know someone who's been talking about starting a business or building a side hustle or creating more freedom for themselves or their family, would you share the video with them? I'd really appreciate it. You never know, it might be the push that they need to stop waiting and get started. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode of HighLevel Success Stories. Take care.